Hey y'all, I'm Tia.
And I'm Ayana.
And welcome back to Couch and Cries. Ayana, do you think they notice anything different? we
got t-shirts.
We got them, y'all.
We got them.
We finally got some t-shirts.
We've been talking about them forever. I know we have, but we finally got them, and they're so cute.
And they're comfy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and they're pretty thick too.
Yeah, they are. They're really good quality.
Good quality.
So, if y'all want shirts, let us know.
Yes.
We can get them on any color: pink, purple, red, green, blue.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about red, but we can. So let us know if y'all want one. They were like $15, and we'll get them to you.
Yeah.
Yes.
We love them though.
We do. Let's see. So last time, thank you for joining us this week. We got carried away. Thanks for joining us. So a couple weeks ago when we were talking, we came from Philippians 4, verse 6 and 9. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about how being anxious and worrying kind of goes against you having faith in God, because the two can't coexist. Like, you can't have a really strong faith in God but worry about every situation or worrying about what's to come. Mm-hmm. So definitely go back and look at that video. It's a really good one. And I think it's very relatable. And if you've seen the new Inside Out movie, I think you can kind of tie with that a little bit too.
Yes, so it definitely has been good. And yeah, like she said, the Inside Out movie has been very relatable too. Yes. And I feel like this message for this week, it kind of goes hand in hand from what we talked about 2 weeks ago. So definitely go check that one out. But for today, we are coming from Psalms 126, verses 5 and 6. And it reads, "Those who sow with tears will reap with songs of joy. And those who go out weeping, carrying seed to sow, will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with them." And I just think this is so good because everybody has tears and everybody has other emotions, like the movie.
Yes, the movie.
That are not always joy. And I know we talk about how much it's easier said than done to choose joy, think positive thoughts, and think all this stuff. And just like, I don't know why I keep relating to this movie, but
it's
just
a good
like
movie.
It is. I'm doing a little spoiler. In the movie, it's like a little new emotion that's like spurting out all these, thoughts. And sometimes it feels like that when your thoughts and just like life gets overwhelming, you start to just have tears. You just start to cry about stuff. And kind of like she mentioned before we started, like when you crying about something, it just means it's really, really important to you. And it just means something to you. So I feel like recently I've been just like, God, what's going on?
Yes.
And it has to happen. Like, tears have to happen. But I love how he gives us reassurance and just tells us, you will reap with songs of joy. You will return with songs of joy, carrying sheaves with him, even though you may weep, because he doesn't want to just wipe our tears away. He doesn't want to wipe our problems away. He wants us to go through those things so that we know, okay, this wasn't an easy walk. Like, this was something that was worth it. I'd had blood, sweat, and tears go into this. So when you get to singing those songs of joy, it just means something more. It's almost like when somebody gives you a car, it's like, oh, you take care of it different versus when you work for that car and you bought it yourself.
Yes. So the Bible is speaking such a command, like you mentioned, saying you will reap songs of joy, you will return with songs of joy. Mm-hmm. And I love that because it reminds us that God is going to do it. And He's always going to do it, which goes back to last week. We can't worry about what's to come because we know it's already done.
Right.
And sometimes crying tears are the strongest prayer you can have sometimes.
Yeah.
And it really waters like what you're planning, what you're working towards. And I think being able to express yourself to God with those tears is kind of just showing how much you want to please Him, how much you want to be going in the right direction. Mm-hmm. And so sometimes it's just, you gotta cry. Your seed needs to be watered with those tears of hurt and pain and whatever it may be, because nothing worth having comes easy. And I think you said that. I think you said that before. And so it's a constant reminder. Not just a constant reminder. That's not what I was trying to say. What I was trying to say was that it's hard to speak positively and think positively a lot of times. And so this was just a good reminder of that, because like life been life, And not necessarily in a bad way, but just in an exhausting way. And so I just be like, oh, I'm so tired. Like, I'm done with this. Like, what's next? Like, no. Be like, I know it's coming. And I just have to be patient and continue to try to keep myself in that positive mindset. Because if I don't, I'm going to end up down in the valley somewhere.
I think, too, like, raise your hand if being a Christian is exhausting. This is exhausting, okay? Like, I know we want to be positive and positive plant seeds and stuff, but this walk is not easy. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. This would be an easy walk. This would be an easy thing to do. Everybody would be Christians and everybody wouldn't pretend to be, like, it's just, like, it's very exhausting. So I think God gets excited when we cry out to him, because it's like, you could be crying out to anything else. You could be, going anywhere else to try to get fulfillment for these tears or these feelings that you feel. So I think God is like, yay, come to me, my child. Yes. Because this is exhausting. And it's a lonely walk.
Sorry. And I'm glad you said that, because like a year ago, and it resurfaced on my Facebook memories a couple of weeks ago, it was a video of Pastor Frank Ray saying, he's like, we say that the Lord won't put more on you than you can bear, but then he goes to say, but he will put more on you so that you can remember that he'll bear it for you.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that is good, because often in this walk, we try to be God instead of letting people see God through us, or we try to take everything, every problem, every inconvenience, whatever, we try to handle it ourselves. Baby, if you don't give it to God and let it go.
Right.
Because why are you losing sleep?
That's true. That's
like,
good.
why are we worrying? Why are we anxious?
That's good.
Like, in the Bible, it speaks in a command. Like, it literally tells you everything's going to be okay. You just have to go on that rock, go through the fire, and see it, and believe it, and apply it. And we talked about that last episode too, how it's kind of hard to apply the teachings of God.
Oh yeah,
because we're so, human nature will just simply distract you from those things. So the practice of applying what the Bible says.
Yeah, and like practicing what you know. Because I mean, even this, it's like, okay, you'll sow tears and you'll reap songs of joy, but it's like practicing that. It's like, ooh, you're not thinking about that when you're crying,
right? So you're trying to figure out how to get through it,
right? So I think just taking a breather. That's what I had to do this morning. I had to just like, I'm literally like crying, like just trying to forget. But that's real moments. That's real vulnerable moments that, and even that are even part of your testimony, because the things that you go through too, if like we mentioned earlier, nothing worth having is easy. And so I feel like that's where God brings in that story, because there's someone else that's watching you. There's somebody else that wants to do what you're doing. There's someone else who don't even get to, like, the things that you're doing right now is their dream. So God is like, okay, I got to take you through these ups and downs and roller coasters and of emotions, so you can remember, like, dang, I was just where you were at, and you can help pull somebody else. Because we were just talking about, like, I just had like this thought just about like how God, and I think I mentioned this before on something, I can't remember how long ago, but just how like God always brings everything back to like gardening and planting and sowing and reaping. And just like how she mentioned earlier, like your tears are like watering your seed. And so just thinking about like you grow and you blossom into this beautiful tree and you have fruit that you're bearing like God wants us to. That fruit is not for you, right? So that's for somebody else. Trees don't eat their own fruit. So somebody else needs to get nourishment. Somebody else needs to get encouragement, motivation, positive thoughts. Just know that like if she did it, then I can do it too. Right. So that's another part of that testimony, and a part of like why we go through tears and why we go through everything to get to the end and get to the finally we get to sing.
And I know we said it, I know this one was a couple of videos ago, but we said that like you wonder why you keep going through things because you think you got the lesson, but in reality somebody else needs to listen from you. So they kind of, I don't think we said it exactly that way, but they kind of was like the gist of it. It's like sometimes you're going through it for somebody else. It's kind of like you see the videos of people where they'll stand in their church, they're like having a praise break and they're standing in for their family. It's kind of like that. It's like sometimes your circle has to be able to like stand in for you. So maybe you're standing in somebody else's circle and God is just using you. You might not even realize it.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So enjoy the Enjoy the hard times.
Yeah.
Easier said than done.
It
but
is.
Yeah.
But it's like, and then think about it, I get to do this. When we start changing our mindset to gratitude, like that's what I was thinking today. Like, I get to go to work.
Yes.
Even though these kids are mine, I get to be in these kids' life. I get to wake up. I get to breathe. I get to do this podcast. I get to do all the things, even things that you may not want to do. I get to clean up the house today. I get to pay these bills. At least I have a bill to pay.
And I got a job to pay the bill.
Right? So just shifting the perspective and realizing there's a testimony, there's glory for your story. Yes. There's no pain for a good story. Like if you want a good story, a good testimony, you definitely gonna have some pain. So yeah, I feel like it's a good encouragement.
It was.
It encouraged me. I hope it encouraged y'all.
Yes. Oh,
do we have news?
We almost forgot. First Sunday in July, we're kicking off Youth Month by doing Couch and Christ Live.
Couch and Christ Live! We're so excited. We're so excited. Yes. Hopefully y'all come. If you don't go to Mount Zion, Piperton, you should come. If you do, still come. It's going to be at 11 a.m. We're definitely, Youth Month is going to be exciting. It's so exciting to see children of God on fire for Christ. So come so we can kick it off, ask us questions, get us shirts, and just enjoy life and fellowship with each other.
And stay tuned to see who our special guest may or may not be.
Yeah. You gotta come to find out.
Come find out. All right.
But I think that's all.
That's it, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.